Today's one of the most historical days, I believe, in the history of the Middle East, maybe in the history of our generation. What really happened today? Was peace really settled in Gaza? Will it stand? Will it hold? We're going to discuss it in depth tonight, in addition to 3-Eye Atlas update. World War III is possibly still going to happen. What in the world? You know what we're going to do? We're going to break it down tonight on The Big Picture. Let's go.
You're watching The Big Picture.
All right, everybody, come on in. I see the live chat's already filling up.
Are they hopping?
They're hopping tonight.
Are they asking, what's going on? Where are you guys?
Yeah, I've already told them.
Listen.
I called your problem a technical issue.
I'm not trying.
Technical problem.
It was a technical problem. I was not trying to claim birthday privileges, even though it's my birthday. We had an emergency on the level of worse than losing that original golden chicken. Okay. I could not find my earbuds.
Yeah.
So we had a 4-alarm meltdown.
So you didn't even have to tell on yourself. I already had it fixed. I called it a technical difficulty.
Well, it was technical. And it just took a minute to find those things.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
So
well,
I got my one ear in and we're ready to go.
Why don't you got the other one in? What's wrong?
Never wear the other one because I told you it's something.
Okay.
That's a whole other thing.
We'll come back and make another show on this.
Listen,
We need to get into the news.
This is over. We are loaded for bear.
Oh yeah, tonight's gonna be a big night.
Barrels and a surprise to come.
That's what I was about to say.
Don't leave.
We're at somewhere around the 7:45 mark.
Oh yeah.
We've got a special guest that's going to join us tonight.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to break down the prophetic implications of everything that's going on.
Yep.
And of course, pray for my voice. As you can tell, I preached my voice out. I've been trying my best to get it back, so I'm going to do the best I can tonight. So without further ado, let's get into the news tonight. If you have been living in the cave or living under a rock, that's the only way you didn't know this. Today was a very historic day. Donald Trump and the Middle Eastern leaders today signed a peace agreement in historic Egypt summit, flanked by world leaders. 2025, Peace 2025. I'll show you all that tonight. President Donald Trump and about 24 world leaders displayed robust unity at the Middle East peace signing ceremony regarding the first phase of a historic peace agreement between Israel and Hamas. Trump, along with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Emir of Qatar, Tamim bin Hamad, and then Talai, and Turkish President Recep Tayyip and Erdogan.
Take a breath. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Sign the documents.
Calm down.
In Sharm el-Sheikh.
Sharm
el-Sheikh, hours after Trump gave a powerful speech at Knesset. Let us watch this historic moment here. And look at the symbolism. Peace in the Middle East. Peace 2025. I read something about when they shall say peace. We'll talk about that tonight. You hear the pen? And I kept trying to find one. By the way, I kept trying to find one without the music, but this apparently was the music in Egypt.
Listen.
In the room. They started playing the music in the room.
I just got to say, this was a very dramatic day, a very important and historic day, but there's no way that I'm believing that is original pen signing audio.
Oh, that is actually.
No, I think they put
that in. Hey, look,
in.
Everybody is saying that I nailed all those words. I love that. Nailed it.
Pastor is speaking in tongues. Thank you, Kevin.
Nailed it. Look there. The people are showing love for my enunciation.
I think they're showing pity.
Oh, and by the way, yes, if you didn't know that, today is the Queen's birthday.
I think we already covered that, but thank you, everybody. Yay! I love my Big Picture family.
So when I said it was a historic day, that's what I meant.
Oh,
all right, here we go.
Well, the babies did come by just shortly.
Yes, they did.
Not too long before this show started, and brought their nana.
Yes.
Flowers.
Yes, they did.
Okay, if you want to get in good, which they were already in.
Yeah.
Bring flowers.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I was watching this live, y'all. This was really surreal. Look at all those people sitting behind him.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you?
Now, I want you to hear that. When I heard that today, I just couldn't believe it.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, babe, get up. You got to take a picture of this. And you're like, I'm going to get the audio too.
It took 3,000 years. 3,000 years. Straighten yourself up. 3,000 years. Come on. Here we go.
You believe it?
We went over
and it's
this.
going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up.
It's going to hold up.
Do you think it's going to hold up?
It's going to hold up.
Okay, thank you.
All right, cut the music. I mean, we did not need the music.
No, we needed.
I couldn't find one without the music. So, okay, so this was the big deal today. He was sitting there in front of Peace 2025 with peace in the Middle East on top of his head, not to mention all these world leaders that are trying to get in the picture.
I want to say real quick, when I was a kid, and I'm talking about, God,
Wasn't that long ago.
yeah, Kevin said sweet 16 plus 40.
Yeah.
But seriously, when I was a kid, I would be in the house when the evening news would come on, and when they would do the international pieces of the news, it would always be peace in the Middle East.
Right.
Every evening.
Yeah.
And you would see the dove.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going all the way back to being like 10 years old, and maybe even 8 years old, just long time ago.
But we can't.
That is what the news caption
we
would be.
we can't belittle today. Today was a big day, huge day.
There's
huge
no
day.
belittling here at all. None from me.
Huge day. World leaders, including Italian Prime Minister, French President, Canadian Prime Minister, and many others, looked on as the four leaders signed the documents. The people behind me are the greatest leaders, most powerful leaders, the richest leaders, frankly, he said. Sometimes it's not politically correct to say that, but I'll say it. And he said, these people really care for their countries and why this is happening. They all came together and they wanted to get Gaza straightened out. And this right here is says everyone wants a photo with the leader of the free world. Y'all, this man, he's sitting in Egypt. He's in the center. He's running the show.
Yes.
If you did not see this today, he told them where they were going to go. He told them how long they were going to speak. He came into Egypt and just told everyone, sit down.
Can we do a quick poll, just not stopping, just while we're in this? Guys, chime in if you noticed. If you watched and you noticed, this man was a ringleader.
He ran the show.
If you want to use a circus, a three-ring circus as an example, he was running everything.
Yeah.
Where do you find the time and the energy to do these things? But he was literally running all of these world leaders.
And speaking of the world leaders, watch this. I mean, they're just lining
Up to get their picture.
No one else got a picture. Oh, and I wish we could have slowed that down. But when Macron come up there, it was unbelievable. He kept trying to get his hand on top of him, and they kept trying to fight that until finally Trump just grabbed his hand, squeezed him, pulled him in tight, and said, "This ain't gonna happen." So yeah, he was in front of the show. Yeah. So let's see what we got here. This says at the Gaza Peace Summit, it's a tremendous day for the Middle East. It's an honor to be a part. Let's play this one here.
It's a tremendous day for the Middle East. And you can see that this is probably the greatest assemblage of countries in terms of wealth and power maybe ever assembled. And it's just an honor to be a part of it. We're going to be signing a document that's going to spell out a lot of rules and regulations and lots of other things. And it's very comprehensive. But we've already signed documents in the Middle East and having to do with Israel and Hamas and just about everything else, and it's really working out incredibly well. The hostages, as you know, were let go on time, on schedule. The very sad situation of bodies, which was always a sad situation, and they're being sought out, and they're working with many different people, finding some were brought in and some were not. And they're working out to find out where those bodies are. It's hard to believe that you even have to say something like that. It's so sad. It's so sad. But what's not sad is that we have finally, after, I guess they say 3,000 years. I've heard from 3,000 years to 500 years, but whatever it is, it's a lot. But this was the one, this was the granddaddy of them all. And frankly, I thought this was probably going to be the toughest, and maybe in many ways it was, but we had a lot of good talent. Steve Witkoff, Jared, and Marco, and Pete, and General Kane was so great. John Ratcliffe was incredible. We had an amazing array of talent.
For anybody wondering, what in the world Jared
Yeah.
Kushner has been doing all of this time.
Well, I think that's been answered.
I think that you have the evidence of at least one of his projects. He didn't go away. He may have gone underground,
Right.
but he never stopped doing the important work that he was doing from the first administration.
All right. So let's continue here. Let's see. And before he did that, he went to the Knesset.
Yes.
And just, I mean,
He was rapturously received.
Yeah, look at that. Rapturously, this is from the Times of Israel. Received in the Knesset. Trump tells Israel it won the war, and now it's time for peace. This is when he's coming down into Israel. U.S. President Donald Trump declared the historic dawn of the new Middle East in a triumphant address to the Knesset on Monday as the final 20 living hostages were released from Gaza under a U.S. brokered ceasefire deal. Trump said it marked not only the end of the war, but the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. He told the lawmakers that Israel had no more to achieve on the battlefield and must work toward peace in the Middle East. And he said he would deliver a similar message to regional leaders in Egypt later in the day. The president pressed Israel to look past the war, saying it had achieved all it could by force of arms. You've won. I mean, you've won, he said. Now it's time to translate these victories against terrorists on the battlefield into the ultimate prize of peace and prosperity for the Middle East. What a victory it's been, added Trump, noting that if Israel had kept fighting for years, it was getting bad, it was getting heated. The timing of this deal, the end of the fighting is brilliant. And I said, Bibi, you're going to be remembered for this far more than if you kept this thing going, kill. Directly addressing Netanyahu, he said, I want to congratulate you for having the courage to say that we've won. And now let's enjoy our lives and let's rebuild Israel and make it stronger and bigger and better than it's ever been before. The president's lengthy address included expressions of thanks to numerous people, but he focused especially on Netanyahu, hailing his patriotism and declaring that his partnership did so much to make this possible. He's not easy, I want to tell you, said Trump. He's not the easiest guy to deal with, but that's what makes him great. So he goes on to...
So are you more excited at the potential for peace, however long this can last? Are you more... now more on guard more now than ever,
of course, because
you're waiting for the other part.
Oh yeah.
the sudden destruction. I mean, I'm so torn today.
Yeah.
I had so many things that I was going to do and accomplish, but I, woke up, came into the living room, started, watching. I had to use the word paralyzed, but I'm like, I couldn't move. I'm like, I can't, I got to stay right here. This is riveting.
Yeah.
And, I mean, how do you feel?
Well, I feel the same way. I feel that very historic day.
Yes.
No doubt about it. For a believer in a big picture,
yes.
Biblical worldview,
right.
Prophetic worldview, you realize that these are things that are moving in that direction of the Antichrist, the beast system. In the midst of all this going on, you're seeing the digital currency rising. You're seeing the tracking. See, this is what took the news today. But there's a lot of other news going on.
Yes.
And when this is happening, a lot of times this is when they'll do the other things behind the scenes.
Exactly.
So they just took the whole social credit system today. We're going to cover it tonight to another level. Nobody covered it because nobody's even making YouTube channels, shows about it, because we're talking about this. So this is, I think somebody asked a question to me a while ago. I saw it over in the live chat. Do I believe that God, Jesus, is guiding Donald Trump? Let me just tell you right now. First of all, I would never speak for Jesus and for God,
right.
but I can tell you that I do believe that God is using him. I do believe that. I do believe he is struggling. I'm going to show you tonight that he is struggling with who he is in God. And I do believe the people that are around him need to be a little bit more bold in proclaiming the gospel to him. But I have a hard time believing he's not ever heard it. I think he has heard what it means to be saved, but he's still struggling with that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, understand this. I'm not saying that everything that happened today was orchestrated by God. And I'm not saying that it was orchestrated by the devil. But there are forces in play. You just think about all those people that were sitting behind him.
Yes.
And then you just start going down one by one of what we know about those people and just what we're permitted to know about those people. And there were some very, very demonically led and influenced people sitting around him that he was calling great, that he was calling amazing, wonderful people. So the truth is, look, we don't put our faith in Donald Trump. I don't know how many times I have to say that. We do not serve Donald Trump on this channel, in our life, in our church.
But listen, I want to say this. We will stand at attention on a day like today.
Absolutely.
Because this
was historic.
Deserving of you watching and observing what is happening and how it is happening. Because my mind goes all different kind of places. Do I believe that those people sitting in that room are top tier, that they're really the ones pulling all of the strings of this planet?
Probably not.
No, I do not.
No.
So were they told to sit there and look a certain way and make sure you get your picture and you basically line up and get your marching orders? My mind goes to that more than anything else. Can I prove it? No, of course not.
Yeah, I agree that. I agree 100% that many of them were assigned to be there. Some of them were just so full of themselves they weren't going to miss a picture.
Or even, my mind goes to this, threatened.
Yeah.
Put your pride aside.
Yeah.
Here's your marching orders. Yeah. You will be in that room. You will look like you are engaged, whether you like it or not. I know you probably hate his guts because that's who you are. And basically that's, who we've brought you up to be. But on this day, this is what you're going to do.
Ring.
Kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring today, baby. Because I mean, look, you got to give credit where credit's due. Here's the bottom line. It wasn't just Donald Trump, but this doesn't happen without Donald Trump.
No.
This does not. I don't care if it was a Republican president or not. This does not happen without Donald Trump.
And I got wires and stuff whatever. So CNN, they were having a rough day.
Yeah. Not as rough as MSNBC.
It was a rough day over at CNN and MSNBC. But so, whenever there's anything newsworthy and we are both in front of the TV and we're watching, I'll usually look at you and say, "Hey, what's CNN saying about what kind of day are they having over at CNN?"
But you know what? They were giving him credit.
I know.
They were giving him credit. Schumer went to the podium today and gave him credit because that's how historic this is. You have to give the man credit for what happened today. I'm telling you, I know there's a lot more at play than just Donald Trump, but this does not happen without Donald Trump.
And let's talk about,
and quite frankly, it doesn't happen without prophecy. I believe this is also moving us on the prophetic timetable that we're going to talk extensively about.
Let's talk about, the other big part of this, the hostages being returned.
Right.
I cried my eyes out when they were showing some of these reunions. Oh, these people were so desperate. Yeah. And I just thought, oh my goodness. Yeah. I can't thank you for that super chat.
Thank you, Colorado
chick.
Yeah.
Is that chic or chick? I'm sorry. My eyes are all blurry
We're
now.
going to call it Colorado chick.
Can you imagine?
No.
The pain, the desperation, the torment, the torture of not just being separated from your family member, but not knowing what in the world is happening to them. Are they still alive? Are they being fed? Are they giving medical attention? All the things.
Yeah. Well, look, today, as Trump was taking questions, Town Hall's Katie Pavlich said to Trump, "Now that the living hostages have been returned, can you please tell us what the next steps are?"
The areas and the
President, now that the living hostages have been returned, can you please tell us what the next steps are?
Well, they're going and looking for bodies. It's a pretty gruesome task, and they know where numerous are, as you know. I guess 5 or 6 are in yet now, but they're looking for bodies. They know the areas and the search parties out, and they're doing it in conjunction with Israel, and they're going to be finding quite a few of them.
So I think 4 caskets came in today. 4 or 5 caskets came in today. The rest of them, they're supposedly a part of phase 1 is that they're to provide the bodies. But here's the sad thing. Several people are saying they don't even know where some of them are because they were dismembered and scattered all around Gaza. And an interesting thing that we need to remember as well, the 20 that was released today that were alive were all men, because all the women that had not been released in earlier negotiations, they're the dead ones, because they were RPD'd. You can't say that word without getting flagged
To
here.
death?
And then killed. Yeah, they were multiple times and then killed. And so all the women that were still left, they're all dead. And that's why they're dead. It's because of how they mistreat them. I'm
sorry. Not showing disrespect. I can't stay here. We're going to have to move on. If I even think about this anymore, I'm sorry, folks, but we got to move on. I can't stay here.
Yeah, well.
I can't do it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We are going to have to cover a little bit more of it, though. Okay. So this is not on the subject of the hostages. We'll move on from that. But it says breaking left-wing members of the Israeli Knesset had to be dragged out when he was giving his speech. I don't know if you've seen this.
No, I didn't get to see this.
So watch this.
You told me about it.
Where is the Secret Service?
Yeah.
Why are they not standing around our own Secret Service?
Right.
But watch how fast they get out, and then listen to what Donald Trump says after he gets them out.
This Knesset member, please expel this Knesset member.
You told me what he said when he was all over the hall.
What?
You told me what Trump said when
Yeah.
he was all over.
Expel him immediately.
Sorry for that, Mr. President.
That was very efficient.
He's probably saying, I would not be able to have that quick response in my own country. That was very efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then he just said, as I was saying, and he just went right back into his message.
Absolutely.
You know, people say this about Trump. They'll say, that he can't control himself. But that's not true. I mean, he's been in situations that he just never lost his cool. He's just, when he wants to just rake you over the coals, he's going to rake you over the coals.
Or when he wants to ramble on, he's going to ramble on.
Yeah. Well, speaking of rambling on, this is another thing that he said at the Knesset that just tore some people up.
Right
I love this.
Men right here.
Now, watch what he says about Netanyahu.
Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon?
I mean, you talk about on the spot.
Look, he's fast on his feet and off of his feet because he just said,
Yeah, he's just like, what am I supposed to do to that? And then because you know good and well, Netanyahu is not very loved in Israel. No. And he's not very loved in that room. But watch what the room does, because they're so afraid to not go with him.
Yeah. You better get with the program or you're going to be next. Wow.
Come on.
Look at Netanyahu.
He's just like, thank you, Mr. President.
I'll pay you for that one later.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much.
That's vintage Donald Trump right there.
So many things today. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
It's just so much. Just filled our basket with things to talk about.
So many things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to help you out here,
You better be trying to keep up with the time there, buddy.
Well, he's going to call in.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on him. He's going to call in. So I will say this. We will not spend a whole lot of time here, but I do want to show you. I think that we deserve to show these guys.
Yes.
The final 20 living hostages from Gaza. These are the pictures of them before they went, and this is not how they looked when they came out.
I'm sure.
These were the posters that were ripped down. I want you to remember this. These were put up all over the country, and you'd put them up in a city, and then pro-Palestinian, they say they're not pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian, would come and rip down the posters of the hostages. And look, you can hate Israel all you want to, but I'm going to say this very boldly. You can't be a believer. I'm going to get some pushback on this one. In Jesus Christ as the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and a believer in the Word of God, and hate Israel. You understand? I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about the people of Israel. So much so that in the name of Jesus, you would rip down a poster just simply saying, pray for my son. Pray that my son would be removed. Yeah. And if you don't like that, then dude, you got another spirit on you, because we have made it very clear that we are not pro-Israeli government. We do not agree with everything that Netanyahu's done. We don't agree with everything the military's done in this incursion into Gaza. We do believe that Israel has a right to defend themselves. Israel has a right to exist. Yes. And all these countries around them, it's all in all of their charters that they don't even have a right to exist. We are on the side of, we are not replacement people. We do not believe the church replaced Israel. We've made it very clear, unashamedly, Israel still has to go through Jesus. If you're a Jew, you still have to be saved through Jesus, okay? But the bottom line is this, they are known as God's chosen people, and that, the Abrahamic promise is still alive. Now, you don't have to agree with me to be on this channel. You can blow me up in the live chat all you want to, but the reality is this. Thank you for that super chat. Again, Colorado, appreciate that.
Sweet, thank you.
We're just going to err on the side of the Word of God. Okay, we're not going to err on the side of emotions, and we're not going to err on the side of the popular thing on TikTok to say. We're going to err on the side of the Word of God. We look through a biblical worldview, and the Bible says, "I will bless them that bless you, and I will curse them that curse you." So that's why we're covering this tonight, unapologetically. All right, you got that?
Very good.
Okay, so how do you say his name? Erdogan. Listen to this. This was not reported today. This is interesting. Told Sisi his plane heading to Cairo for Gaza summit would turn around if Netanyahu was allowed to come. Notice that Netanyahu was not there. This was an Israel, Palestinian, and Middle East peace thing, but Israel was not there. They were not permitted. It supposedly was said he did not come because of a Jewish holiday and Jewish holy time and all of that. But I think it was very obvious that he was not going to sit in that room. They were not going to, they're putting on the face of peace and everything. They were not going to let Benjamin Netanyahu sit at that table around all of those Arab leaders. It just wasn't going to happen. And Erdogan, what do you say it? Erdogan. Why did I say Erdogan? I want to say Erdogan. Erdogan. He said, I'll turn around if he shows up. And this is sign to me. This guy right here cannot be trusted. This guy right here is, a lot of people believe this guy's the Antichrist. He meets a lot of the characteristics of the Antichrist. But ladies and gentlemen, do not mistake what is going on here. Yeah. This was a Donald Trump orchestrated event. Peace in the Middle East, even though it was above his head, does not exist right now. This is a landmark peace deal in the war between Israel and the Palestinian people, were actually against Hamas. But here's the reality. Peace in the Middle East is not going to happen until this whole thing is wound down. That is the Bible. Turkish president phoned Egyptian president Sisi and said from his plane, it said place, but from his plane, is it prepared to land in Cairo for tomorrow's Gaza summit, told him that he would head back if Prime Minister Netanyahu was allowed to attend the confab with world leaders. CNN reports that Turkey also told the United States, let me bring my guest, get him ready over there. All right, he's going to hang tight right there just a minute. We got you, brother. We'll bring you in just a second. The network said that Egypt's invitation to Netanyahu, apparently brokered by the U.S., led Turkey and other Muslim countries to threaten to boycott. Shortly after the warnings, Netanyahu's office issued a statement saying he was reversing his plan to attend due to the Simchat Torah holiday, which starts this evening. And Erdogan's plane had since landed in Egypt. So, yeah. So what do you think about that?
Well, I guess we probably should have expected that. And some people can't, they're not going to change, not going to control themselves. But peace is supposedly going forward.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to bring a special guest in just a moment. And we're going to discuss some very interesting prophetic things. Now, I want you to keep in mind, Our guest is going to answer these questions, but we have a lot of news after this as well. This is not the end of the program. We've got things to talk about as far as the storms that are coming in. We're going to talk about the shutdown, and we've got some very, very interesting updates on 3i Atlas in the supernatural update. And then I also want to remind you that if you'll go to LarryRagland.com right now, LarryRagland.com, and go to the yellow banner at the top, this is something you're going to want to get. Click on Get Your Free Gift. There's no credit card required, no obligation on your part except for your name and your email. And when you put your name and your email in, you're going to join the Noah generation, and you're going to get a free PDF book called The Burning Generation.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of you have already got it, and it's going to help equip you for the generation that we are in. Now, this gentleman that I'm going to bring in right now, I call him my church resident Bible expert, my Bible theologian. He knows the Bible forwards and backwards, and he is the closest person to me that knows prophecy and where we're at. And I can say this, since my mama is with the Lord now, I say this all the time. He knew I was probably going to say it. This man has been in my life this human being has been in my life more than any other human being ever. Longer than my mother when she passed on. He took the reins. We have been best friends. And of course, you're my best friend, but best friends ever since kindergarten age, 5 years old. That was just a few years ago. So I want y'all to welcome into the big picture my friend, Delane McCurry. There he is. There he is. Yeah.
I'm never going to take your spot, Sandy, I promise.
Thank you. Even though I should have, never mind.
I wish I had a what? Are you serious? I mean, I don't know. Right? We're living in the last days, or the last days living in us. I don't know.
Come on. That was good. Well, I like your shirt you got on. Look at that. As in the days of Noah, brother.
Sweet t-shirt, bud.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Well, Delane, when you were watching this today unfold, what were you thinking in your mind, far as prophecy wise, and where do you feel like this puts us in the timeline?
Yeah, well, so the first thing I was thinking is seeing the billboards as they're driving into Egypt, into that place that you can say so well, and then the huge Peace 2025 sign in front with the mantra, Peace in the Middle East. Yeah. It was like a cheesy 70s rapture movie.
Come on.
That was just like this. If you watched it in a movie, you'd be like, yeah, that's the way they would never do it that way in real life.
Right.
I think a word we were bantering around today was surreal.
It was surreal.
Yes, it was. It was surreal. I mean, peace in the Middle East is like, nailing Jello to a wall. It's never going to happen in anybody's lifetime. And yet,
great example.
From a non-spiritual standpoint, just removing the spiritual for just 5 seconds, the excitement and the thought of it was just overwhelming from that physical standpoint. And then, they were topping all that with those pictures and the videos that you were talking about of these children to their parents and wives to husbands. Yes. I mean, there was nobody. I did click on CNN for a few minutes, and they were crying as they're showing those stories. Yeah. So
exactly.
The whole thing was so amazing. It was like, this is way bigger than just a moment in time.
Yeah.
And him saying 3,000 years in the making.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wow, we're living in the most exciting times on earth. And then I'll put my spiritual glasses back on and say, oh my God, this is going on. And we're watching it happen. We're watching the Bible literally come to pass.
What a privilege and an honor it is to be alive at this time.
Absolutely.
I mean, we say that all the time. And I want to go back to, we were in a big text thread all during this talking about it. Right. And I want to just throw this out here to you. And I want to remind you some of the things you said this morning and elaborate a little bit. You said something about Christopher Columbus. You said, and the Jewish calendar, 1492. I mean, do you remember all that you were?
So today is Columbus Day.
Right.
And in 1492, when he spotted the land, it was on Tishri. I can't think of the actual date, Tishri the 14th maybe, but that is the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles. Mm-hmm. And so today is the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles. Right. So that don't happen every year. Their calendars don't match up with ours.
Exactly.
So for it to have happened on the day that Columbus saw it, and of course, if you know anything about the whole Columbus's move to get to be able to come to the new country was because they expelled the Jews from Spain, and they used that money to be able to fund it all. And yet out of that, God creates a country that is now in the forefront of helping Israel. It was just amazing to see all that take place on the last day of Tabernacles. And I will say this too, that there is a scripture in John 7:37 that actually quotes Jesus on that day. And on that day, he said, "Come to me and drink from this well." I mean, it's just amazing that he pointed to that day, and it's still in scripture, the actual last day of the Feast of Tabernacles.
So Delane, you being my prophecy expert, I just got to ask you this. Okay. Is Donald Trump the Antichrist?
That's funny.
I'm
I'm going to tell you why I think no.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why he could be, because it's a good fit from the standpoint of the whole world's loving him right now. But he's too much of a nationalist. He is too much of an American. Yeah. And I believe that the Antichrist will be such a globalist. He'll have the whole world in a place where he wants them to be, and he'll want to be a world leader. I don't see that from Trump. I think his concentration is on his name, but it's on America. I mean, I genuinely think that. And then, of course, if we read enough scripture, you see that this person is likely going to come out of a Roman Empire. That it says the prince to come in Daniel 9 will be from the ones who destroy the temple, and we know that was the Roman Empire. So I don't think it would be him for a couple of reasons. But Jared Kushner should fit a good bill too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's actually what I was about to say.
I've always had him on my list.
Yeah. Jared Kushner, wow, man, he fits a lot of things. And I've got a lot of friends that are watching right now, and I'll probably get message after. They always message me after, and they'll always remind me, don't you forget that I told you Jared Kushner's the Antichrist.
Well, he's an Orthodox Jew, so they would trust him, I would think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's something I found out today. I had no idea, and I'm sure Sandy knows this, but when he bought Kushner Company in 2005 or 6, it was at 666 Fifth Avenue. That's the name of the building.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Are you serious?
And for years and years, 666 was lit up in red on the top of this building.
This is not true. Is this true?
It is true. And they finally changed the address to 660, and they took those numbers down off of the building, but they've placed them in a nice, secure place in case they ever decide to go back to it.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness. You just dropped a bomb.
I did not know that part.
You just dropped a bombshell right there. My goodness.
Good.
All right. So when you look at, the famous scripture that I think it was Paul that said it, when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction shall come upon them that travaileth upon a woman. So when you hear the words peace, what do you feel? What when you hear in the Middle East, you saw that peace 2025, peace in the Middle East.
Yes.
What you was talking about when you're driving in, had the Egyptian president and President Trump saying, "Welcome to the land of peace." It was just everywhere. And then he gets up there and says, and I think I may have a clip, I'm going to show this later tonight. He says, "We have entered not only the golden, what does he call it? The golden age of America, but the golden age of the Middle East as well." What do you think? What do you feel? What is your spiritual receptors? What happens when you hear all that?
All right, so let's go to the Word of God and let's see what Paul is talking about. And if you've got a Bible that's got topicals on it, it says above chapter 5, the day of the Lord. So we know that's what he's talking about. And in verse 2 of chapter 5, he says, yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so comes as a thief in the night.
Wow.
For when they say peace and safety, exclamation point, by the way, then sudden destruction comes upon them as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape.
Wow.
And so we know that this scripture, peace and safety, is talking about the day of the Lord.
Yeah.
And so this is what's so compelling to me, that we're getting to there. We're getting to that spot, is because when you go to Joel chapter 3, And he's talking about the days of the Lord. In Joel chapter 3, he says, in those days and at that time, when I bring back the captives of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will enter into judgment with them on account of my people, my heritage Israel, whom they've scattered among the nations. And then this is the key. And they have divided up my land.
Come on, there it is. There it is.
This meeting, this incredible peace agreement is going to involve land at some point.
Okay, and let me say this, Delane. This was not said today anywhere, but yesterday when I was looking at the 20-point plan and people were elaborating on the 20-point plan, it is in the document somewhere between phase 2 and 3. Around the completion of phase 3, when this Council of Peace, I mean, think about that. The Council of Peace chaired by Donald Trump and having his hands on the money and the decisions of what's going to happen in Gaza is the path to a 2-state solution. Nobody's talking about that, but a part of this agreement is the 2-state solution is in there to be looked at around the arrival of phase 3. And that's what you just said. Is that not the dividing of the land?
I think it is. I think it is. And then we have to look at the fact that what's going to take place at the end of that is that a covenant is going to be confirmed. And we're talking about the same thing again. Daniel's 70th week is right here in Daniel 9. That is the day of the Lord. That is exactly what we've been talking about in the other 2 scriptures. And he says, he shall confirm a covenant, talking about the Antichrist. He shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. This is an incredible thing that has went on just with Jared Kushner. I mean, he owns no title right now.
Think about that.
And he has created this. The first Abraham Accords that he did, when he did those, he was an advisor to Trump, and he had no experience whatsoever.
None.
But he's created this covenant now that's with multiple nations. Most covenants, most of these things that take place are usually bilateral, and none of them are ever with Israel. And furthermore, these nations that are coming together hate each other too.
Yes.
You've got UAE and Turkey. I mean, all these nations are coming together. It's bizarre how they are, what do they call it? Politicians are strange bedfellows, right? And that's exactly what we're dealing with all these people. But they're coming together to confirm a covenant, which means something that's already been in place. How long have we talked about this? It's been decades and decades, and yet it feels like it's about to take place.
We're the only generation that our fathers and our grandfathers, they all talked about the same thing we're talking about. Yes. But we're the only generation, us and our kids, is the only generation that we can see with our eyes the mark of the beast. There's no doubt. We see the mark of the beast.
Yeah,
we see the control system. We see the surveillance. We see the ability to not be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark. It is in front of us.
We have watched the infrastructure be built
right before our eyes. And then the only thing that was missing was the treaties, the temple being rebuilt, all these kind of things. We've covered on this show that when they did the practice of the red heifer, that wasn't real. I don't buy that for a moment. I believe they really did burn the true red heifer. I believe they have the ashes. I believe they have all. We are the only generation, Delane. All these things that me and you were raised in church together. I mean, we were in church together when we were 5 and 6 years old. Right. We have talked about things like this. They used to call us the preachers. When we was in middle school, we'd come down the hallway and they'd say, oh, look out, here comes the preachers. And because we'd be telling people about Jesus when we were in middle school and having no idea that we'd both really be called to preach. But here we are talking to thousands of people around the world right now in a moment where we have technology, where the gospel shall be preached into all nations, and then the end shall be. Every single thing we heard our whole life, Delane, we don't have to look for anything else. It's already here.
That's the truth. I mean, you know, our grandparents saw probably something that was as compelling as the Red Sea crossing, and that was Israel becoming a nation in a day. It is the biggest event since probably biblical times. I mean, it becomes such a biblical pattern. It is exactly what Ezekiel 37 was seeing, that they would come back, but they would come back without the Spirit. And then Ezekiel 38 and 39 are going to come right back on top of that with nations that have never been. I just saw this recently that Russia, Persia, and some of these other nations have never been together before. Yet now here they are working together for the first time in hundreds of years.
Well, look, right on cue, the devil just froze you up. We could hear you, but you was frozen. Yeah, this is like a bad Zoom call right now. But we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, you're back. You're back now. You're back now. Yeah.
So the point I was making in that is that was the biggest thing ever. But when you start seeing them talk about a temple being rebuilt,
come on.
I mean, that may be the biggest thing since 1948. And then my next favorite hope, I can just hope and pray that it happens in my lifetime, is that they find the Ark of the Covenant. I know it's not in that warehouse in Washington. I know it's probably somewhere in
the Smithsonian doesn't have it.
Delane, when we were in Israel,
listen up, guys.
The rabbi in Israel, somebody asked him, "Can you read?"
Harry Moskoff.
Yes, they asked him, said, "Do we have all? We know that we've got all the things except the red heifer at that time." He said, "We're working on the red heifer now." And somebody said, "Well, what about the Ark of the Covenant?" And he literally looked at us, Paul Begley, and all of us, and said, "That's not a problem. We know exactly where it's at." He said, "I've seen it myself. We know where it's at. That's not an issue. We have the Ark of the Covenant." Did he not?
He did.
He surely did.
He did.
I truly believe those things are going to start rolling out. And when they start talking about the temple, they're going to make a plan for that. I mean, that's going to be what's going to help Israel to even maybe give up more land, is the opportunity for that. Yeah. So we're just, it's so something biblical is going on.
With the signs.
All right. So Delane, we got about 5 minutes left in this segment, and we're going to get back to the news. So look at us, man. Look at these people out here, because people are scared. They're legitimately scared. Yeah. And when they hear these kind of things, they just feel like, we talk about doom and gloom and stuff on here. We don't intentionally try to be that, but people get scared when they watch things like this. So what is our hope? Why is it called the blessed hope? And why should we be excited to be alive right now and not fearful?
Yeah.
Well, man, that's good for the believer. If you're not a believer right now, I would be scared to death. I would be wanting somebody to scare the hell out of me, because that's what's coming to pass if you don't get right with God. I would be afraid of everything that could possibly go wrong will go wrong. It's going to be a time. Going to be a time like no one has ever seen. Jesus couldn't even describe it accurately enough. He just said it'll be so bad, there'll never be another time like it. But here's the good news for the believer. In that same set of scripture, when he says that the sudden destruction comes, he says, but you're not in the darkness, that this day should overtake you as a thief. Wow. He said, you're sons of the light. And he says, let us not sleep, but let us be watch and be sober. And here's the great blessed hope for us. And he says in verse 9, God did not appoint us to wrath, but to obtain salvation through our Lord Jesus Christ. So here's the thing, whether you're pre-trib, post-trib, mid-trib, pan-trib, whatever you are, the thing is there is no way that whatever we go through, part of it, all of it, any of it, we're not going through the wrath of God. We're not going to have to go through that wrath of God. Now, personally, I believe that this time that he claims, that Jesus claimed, is the most horrific time on the history of mankind. And we know how bad the Holocaust was. If it's worse than that, so bad, then I don't see how there's any way that we could be here to be a part of it. So I know that whether we're protected in it or through it, but in my opinion, we'll be protected from it. Yeah. That's the greatest news of all is that God has already told us, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about what's going to happen, because you're going to be protected, because we've not been called to his wrath.
My God, that's so good. So good. So the bottom line is this: pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib, just get your heart right with God. Yes. And whoever eschatology-wise is right, then you're good because you're right with God.
Exactly.
And so let's just get right with God. Delane, it has been a pleasure. I got a feeling, man, people's going to love. They're going to want you to come back and do another segment.
Absolutely. I mean, I know they will.
That was awesome. Y'all let us know.
To cuss it again, I guess.
Oh yeah. Look, I'm gonna have to get the blowback from that one. I'll clean up your mess. I'll clean up your mess. Hey, let me know in the live chat, comment section on the replay. What did you think about my friend Delane? Would you like to have him come back again? Delane, thank you for joining us, brother.
Yes.
Absolutely. Love y'all. Happy birthday, Sandy.
Yes. All right. See you, buddy. All right, man. That's my friend Delane.
That was amazing.
That was an awesome segment.
It was.
I mean, I was so proud of him. So proud of him.
Great job.
All right. So let me see if he's still there. I'm gonna there we go. All right. So y'all let me know in the live chat what y'all think. Oh, our people's already saying, come back, please. Come back, please.
Awesome.
They love you, Delane. You're a hit. You're a hit.
We want him back. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Great.
Awesome. And by the way, y'all, he is a great man of God too. Not just a great teacher. He is the dean of our Bible college at our church. We have a college called Ambassadors College, and he is the dean of it as well. And he is just a phenomenal man of God. So thank you again, Delane. Let's get back in the news, Sandy. Finishing up here on what happened with Trump today. This right here. This is so classic Trump. I know you have not seen this. Remember when he was calling out all the nations? He was just taking forever. Just so-and-so's here, so-and-so's here. So he gets to the United Kingdom, and he forgets that the United Kingdom is right behind him. So let's listen to this right here.
Like United Kingdom.
But I got to read this right here first. He says, where is the UK?
Where's the UK?
Starmer raised his hand. Trump called him to the stage, making him think that he was going to speak. Starmer approached the podium. He says, it's nice that you're here. And then he sent him back.
Ooh.
Watch this.
Where's United Kingdom? Where's my friend?
Right behind you. Oh, he said as usual.
Look, he's just sort of.
These people all came in like
what's your
20-minute notice, and I think it's fantastic.
On a 20-minute notice. Okay.
I honestly don't really think he was planning on making fun of him. I think Starmer was just like, oh yeah, this is my moment. This is my moment. And then it just did not become his moment. But that's just classic Trump right there. Classic Trump. And this is what I said earlier. Just rapid fire here before we get to the other news. Trump proclaims peace in Jerusalem, beginning of the age of faith and hope. I mean, the words just sort of give you chills sometimes in a good way and a bad way, in a good way and a scary way. Because if you know the Bible.
That is exactly how I felt today, full of excitement and possibility. And also on the flip side, OMG, what is happening?
Yeah. The United States President Donald Trump told Israel's parliament, this is not only the end of a war, but the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of an age of faith and hope. Generations from now, this will be remembered as the moment that everything began to change. Like the U.S. right now, it will be the golden age of Israel, the golden age of the Middle East. I am so thankful for everything that happened today, but I got news for you. Thank you for both of those super chats.
Yes,
Terry and Sheila, thank you both.
Very much.
But I got news for you, Mr. Donald Trump, because I know you watch the big picture, and all your staff does. This is not the end of terror. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if it was? Sure. But you know, we've read the book. Absolutely. We know what's coming, and we know this is he said 3,000 years. This is a 3,000-year sibling rivalry that's not going going away anytime soon until the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords puts his feet back on the ground here.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be awesome if we would have the confidence that all those sleeper cells in our own country just got a call and it was time for them to pack it in and go back home or just stand down like a permanent for all time stand? No, that's probably not going to happen.
And I'm gonna say this, and I hope I'm wrong on this. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this does not even mean that the war in Gaza is over.
I know.
It would not take much for it to fire right back up.
I wanted to ask you earlier. So you've got some people saying this is the end of the war. Some people still calling it just a ceasefire.
It's only phase one.
Right.
They only agreed to give up the hostages because they were under pressure by the Arab countries, and they only gave up their missiles and their missile launchers, supposedly. But I have not seen any video of missile launchers coming out of Gaza. But supposedly they turned them over, but they kept their guns. They said, you're not getting their guns.
And
people were killed today.
And thousands of criminals and probably terrorists will return to them.
Absolutely,
to return to the streets.
People that were involved in October 7th were released today.
Released to go back and to do what?
The last time there was a release like this happened, one of the ones that was on basically their equivalent of death row was released, and then he became the architect of October 7th.
Exactly.
So this is not the end. I mean, this is a great day. This is a day that, Trump, enjoy your day. And the world is recognizing you. And I know you love to be recognized. So you're going to be recognized today.
And nobody recognizes him more than he recognizes himself.
That's the truth.
Right?
That is the truth. Lord have mercy. And maybe that's a good segue to this, because this just sort of breaks my heart for him. Because you see, some people think he's being funny, but I think he really is serious. When somebody asked him, Peter Doocy asked him, "Are you going to go to heaven? You said you were wondering if he's ever going to go to heaven." And this is making the rounds here.
Right.
And Peter Doocy said, "You talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?" He says, "I'm being cute, but I don't think I can go to heaven." Listen to what he says.
You had talked a couple weeks ago, you were doing an interview, and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven, but I've made life a lot better for a lot of people.
I can't go, but I've made it a lot better for so many, the masses.
But you know what I think?
This is disturbing to me. I'm sorry.
It's more than disturbing. It hurts me. It hurts me. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I've watched that clip probably 30 or 40 times.
Wow.
And I have just stopped it on his face when he goes, "I'm being a little cute." He goes, "But I don't think I'm heaven bound." I think he was genuinely trying to say, "I don't think that I've been good enough for God." And I think he was genuinely saying, "I hope I make it." But the thing that breaks my heart is people around him that by far, let me just tell you right now, you can hate on his faith advisory team all you want to, but I'm going to tell you something. This is the most Christian administration and Christian allowing administration of our lifetime, maybe ever. There's more Christian things going on there than ever. But somebody is going to have to be that person that he trusts on the inner circle. And it may be Marco Rubio, because you heard him and he's heard the gospel. He's heard the only way is Jesus. He does talk about Jesus. He does say that Jesus Christ is his Lord. Yep. But I think he's still got this work-based mentality because he's so full of himself that and I think that might be a driving force. When I heard that today, you know what I thought? I wonder if he is a lot of this stuff about himself, about making himself be this greatest in the world and wants everybody to tell him he's the greatest in the world, is his desire to make himself feel like maybe I could finally achieve a worthiness that heaven might look at. I don't know. Some of you are going to say, no, he's full of the devil's leading him and all this. I think he's on a journey, and I believe that all of this has happened. Let's remind ourselves, all this has happened just over maybe 9 months. Yeah. We're not even in a year into his administration. I am believing God that by the end of this administration, you're going to hear Donald Trump say, "I want everybody to know that I was baptized last night and I prayed a prayer. I think I'm going to heaven," or something like that. This is what I'm praying, because do you realize what would happen in the midst of this revival that's going on in the result of the Charlie Kirk assassination? If Donald Trump came out and was bold in his faith, what would happen to the world?
Yeah.
I mean, can we believe God?
I can't even think about the coverage across all news associations.
Can God do it?
Yes,
of
God
course
can do it.
Of course he can. So I'm just going to believe that he can. I'm just going to believe it. I'm just going to believe it. But look, sorry, man, I'm in preacher mode tonight. Delay got me fired up. But look at this. Look what's in the news. Look what's in the news. This is the Guardian.
Should we say just in time for Halloween? I don't know. What?
I mean, no, this is not about Halloween.
I know it's not about Halloween, but
look at this. The Guardian, which is a mainline newspaper, has an opinion piece saying the Antichrist has long haunted American politics. Now it's rearing its head again.
Okay.
Watch this. From Silicon Valley to Michigan, the biblical figure is in the headlines. The shift from pulpits to politics is familiar and they say dangerous. This is Peter Thiel. All right. 2 scenes from the past 2 weeks capture something unsettling and familiar about American public life. In San Francisco, a tech billionaire delivered a sold-out, off-the-record lecture series on the Antichrist.
I'm sorry.
And by the way, let me remind you.
This is just too rich.
This guy is he not the owner and founder of Palantir? And he's also married to a man.
Yes.
Okay. And he's the founder of PayPal. What?
Is he the sole founder of Palantir?
I think he's one of the founders of Palantir.
One of the
and he's the architect of the political career of JD Vance. Okay?
Yeah,
so
he is.
He is. And he helped Elon Musk. I mean, there's a lot of things here. And guess what?
There's a lot here.
He thinks he's a Bible teacher too, apparently.
Yes.
He's teaching lectures. He's building Palantir, which is the beast system. And he's teaching series on, we got to look out for the Antichrist.
Which is why I said this is so rich. What?
Remember, it wasn't that long ago we showed a clip of him being interviewed.
Oh, yeah.
And they asked, do you think humanity deserves to survive? And he pauses and goes, And he goes, wait a minute, you just paused. I asked you a question. Should humanity survive? And he goes, it's a deep question. So let's finish this. It's to a sold-out, off-the-record lecture series on the Antichrist. In Michigan, a man rammed his truck into a Latter-day Saints meeting house during Sunday worship, opened fire, and set the building ablaze, apparently believing the Mormons are the Antichrist. The Antichrist is clearly back, but perhaps he has never left. As a historian of American apocalypticism, I've traced how this symbol, a protean figure cobbled together from obscure biblical passages, has repeatedly migrated from pulpits to politics and back again. Almost a century ago, fundamentalists mapped European dictators and the New Deal bureaucrats to biblical prophecy. During the Cold War, evangelicals scanned Moscow and Jerusalem for signs of the beast. In the Gulf War, some Christians argued that Saddam Hussein was the Antichrist who was rebuilding the Tower of Babel. Whenever American power felt threatened or social change accelerated, Antichrist talk surged. Today's version arrives with AI, deep fakes, and venture funding, and with bullets. Peter Thiel's Antichrist lectures, consisting of 4 sessions organized by the Acts 17 Collective, were marketed as explorations of theology, history, literature, and politics of the Antichrist. Tickets sold out. Reports and attenders who shared details with the media and online say Thiel warned the fear of technological progress and especially efforts to regulate AI could become the pretext for charismatic power to centralize the control in the name of peace and safety, a scenario he threads to the New Testament warnings. One attender reported that Thiel went further, likening anti-tech, listen to what he's teaching, sentiment itself to the work of the Antichrist. So if you're trying to stop AI, you are the Antichrist. Others have traced the same themes in his recent interviews. This summer, he suggested that an Antichrist of our age would present as a humanitarian regulator. He even floated Greta Thunberg as an analogy, arguing the fixation, blah, blah, blah. Dude, what he's saying is that the Antichrist is going to rise out of people trying to control AI, and the Antichrist is going to be the savior of us from AI. That's what he's teaching.
Get the popcorn. Oh my goodness. This is crazy.
This is
Chicken list.
that's a nominee. That's a nominee for the Golden
That is
Chicken
a
Award.
nominee.
If you're new to our channel, we have an award that we give away at the end of every Monday night called the Golden Chicken Award.
What do we call this? Peter Thiel.
Antichrist. Is he trying to distract us from the stuff that he may be the Antichrist? You want me to go deep a little bit on Bible prophecy here? Let me go deep on you. Delane, I know you're watching. You stirred this up in me. In the book of Daniel, when Daniel describes the Antichrist, do you know what he says about the Antichrist? It's very interesting. He says that he will abandon the faith of his father and his mother. But then it says he will not desire the love of a woman.
Ooh.
I have always taught, and I've always believed, I've literally taught this for over 20 years, that whoever is the Antichrist will be at the very least bisexual, more than likely probably homosexual. And I probably got flagged and all the things. But here's what I'm trying to say is there ever been a generation to accept someone who is non-binary and doesn't identify
like it is today?
Like it is today?
Yeah.
And just a thought.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm getting all kinds of hate mail, I'm sure, on this one tonight. Well, that's not the only war that's going on in the world, Sandy. There's also another war that's going on in a place called Ukraine.
Hey, give him a minute. He'll get to that one.
Here we go.
As soon as he can.
Trump and Zelensky are meeting Friday. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Zelensky called him today when he watched the press conference. Literally, this is what they're saying. He watched the press conference and called and said, "What about me?"
Exactly.
So he said, "We've come to discuss Tomahawk missiles potentially being given to Ukraine, which will be used to go deep into Russia, because for whatever reason, Trump has turned on Putin, and now Zelensky's his friend again." President Trump is expected to meet with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky at the White House on Friday. Two sources familiar with the planning told Axios. Why this matters: the two will discuss what weapons should be supplied to Ukraine, specifically if the U.S. should provide game-changing long-range Tomahawk missiles to the war-torn country. What they're saying, there are certain issues that can't be discussed on the phone, a source told Axios. Zelensky confirmed in a Monday post on X that he will discuss a series of steps that I intend to propose with Trump. A Ukrainian delegation has already departed for the U.S. Zelensky added there would be several other important meetings. The Ukrainian president also said that, as Trump opposed, he would meet with energy companies because there are pressing needs linked to various formats of attacks, not even the attacks that Russia has already carried out.
When can we be done with this little pipsqueak? For the love of all that is good, make him go away.
I'm sorry, he's not going anywhere.
Stop.
He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He is the chosen one for
the major handouts.
Yeah. He's not going anywhere.
And other things.
So World War III watch, Russia gambling with war, says the European Union, calls for toughened defenses. And it says, we are moving beyond the realms of hypothetical conflict. The European Union warned on Monday as it accused Moscow of gambling with war. The EU Foreign Affairs boss and Vice President Kaja Kallas told Kiev on Monday for talks on military and economic support. In speech delivered alongside her Ukrainian counterpart, said the continent faces an extraordinary wave of attacks from Russia. Trump warns Putin, settle the Ukraine war or Tomahawk missiles may be going in their direction. Is that just him is that the art of the deal? Or is Trump really going to let Zelensky fire Tomahawk missiles into Moscow? Unbelievable.
I know. I'm sure you don't like this as well. I really do not like this whole narrative that we're working off of right now. Trump, Putin, and this language. And, let's just put these statements out here. And I don't know if it's like, see how far it gets me, see where this goes. But it feels like we're walking, drawing lines in the sand and moving lines and making new lines. I do not like this. And part of the reason why I don't like it is the whole Putin and BRICS narrative and that whole part of it, and Putin against NATO. And, it seems dangerous.
Yeah.
Just the BRICS thing alone by itself.
Oh yeah.
Is
well, what's going to happen
treacherous enough.
is somebody that, I did a show the other night on the new stable coin that's coming out, which is the precursor to the CBDCs. I believe what's going to happen is you're going to have BRICS do their own CBDC, their own top stable coin. The G7s are doing theirs. And then there's going to be, okay, this is great. This is working really great, but we need a global unified version of this. And then they're going to bring that global currency together.
Are we having cough drop talk?
Cough drop talk, yeah.
So that we don't have cough talk?
I've been eating these things the whole show. You just haven't been watching.
You are getting really good at that.
I'm good.
What else are you trying to slide by me?
There's all kinds of stuff going on here.
Here on my birthday at the tender age of 56. What in the world is happening in this show tonight?
Can we all just sing happy birthday right now? Happy birthday. I'm going to sing it like Elvis. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the queen, my Sandy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, babe. And I think you sounded even more like Elvis with your cough drop talk.
Did that help me? Did the throat problem?
I think it helped.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, look, if you wanted something to really just change the mood, how about this?
You're about to
Today in Portland, cyclists staged a nude die-in to protest arrest of illegal aliens.
With Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood. That's a meme. That's a meme. I think his face sums up all of our feelings on this.
Well, I wasn't aware, but if I had been there or been aware of it, I probably would have looked a lot like that as well.
Somebody just gave a thumbs down to my song. That's what it was. That's what it was. They didn't like my Elvis.
Go easy on him. He's got the whole cough thing.
Went right back up. I got a new thumbs up. Somebody fought that. Somebody fought it. Once the illegals catch sight of their pasty backsides, they'll demand to be deported.
Stop! You got to read that again.
It says, great idea. Joel Abbott says, great idea, Portlanders. Once the illegals catch sight of your pasty backside, they'll demand to be deported. Portland cyclists hold a nude die-in and bike ride to protest ISIS. I mean, that's just that's what you're going to do, right? This is going to solve the problem.
Wow.
Thank God they don't zoom in.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. If everything's blurred out, thank God you don't zoom. These are people laying there, many of them completely, I'm going to say it like we say it down here, butt naked. Not buck naked.
What he said.
Butt naked.
That one.
Portland, what is wrong with you?
Listen,
what is wrong with Portland?
I understand we've got this movement and things are happening, but to me, it seems like they have to work extra hard and ramp up what they did previous to keep this thing in the news.
This
is a major effort here.
They're so proud of themselves.
To continue to remind us that we need to be worried, upset, and taking action.
And many of them, I'm thankful that, like I said, that we're not zooming in from the drone.
Exactly.
But I could tell that many of them, on purpose, was laying on their back instead of laying on their belly.
I did not look enough to notice that, and I'm thanking God for that. Thank you, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Well, let's get a little more serious. That was a little lighthearted thing there. But I can't believe they're actually coming out and saying this. Top scientists are now saying billions of people have been permanently altered by the wah-wah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going back to wah-wah because I'm sure that I won't have to start teaching myself to do that again because they're probably going to start flagging us again. But during the whole pandemic, if you're new to our channel, we could not even say the words that are on your screen, COVID or vaccine. You couldn't say those words.
Right.
We would get flagged. We would get a warning. Thank you for that super chat, Beth K.
Yes.
Hey, Beth K, I just saw you in Orlando.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
It was so good to see you.
And thank you for that happy birthday.
Yeah, I just saw her and got a picture with her.
Sweet.
But look at this. I mean, what a headline. Billions of people have been permanently altered by the wah-wah.
Okay, I don't know if you're going to talk about this, but was Alex Jones also
I have no idea.
included in something
you're talking. I saw the video when some guy comes in there and checks him.
He tests his blood or something?
No, he puts a thing on his body.
That's right.
And he says he's altered. But he didn't take the one.
Okay.
It's from food and the air and all this.
Okay, that's what it was. That's what it was.
So he went in there and he's got this machine and he goes, you got metals here, you got plastics here, and he was showing all these things in their body. And basically was saying every one of us has it. But one of the world's leading scientists has issued a chilling warning over the unprecedented damage that the Wanwan, and you can read it on the screen, has caused to billions of people who received the injections. Dr. Sukharat Bhakti, world-renowned microbiologist, that was amazing, I nailed it,
You did pretty good.
is sounding the alarm after uncovering evidence that the mRNA shots have permanently altered those who received them.
Yeah.
Alarmingly, he reveals that the injections have damaged brain cells in a way that destroys willpower and intelligence.
Okay, back up. He's proven this, or he thinks this. He reveals that.
I'm just reading it.
Okay.
He warns that the problem is so severe that there are billions of people whose brains may have been destroyed by the shots.
That's some strong language.
Strong language.
There.
The award-winning former professor of microbiology argues that people have been permanently altered by the experimental shots. Obviously, this is what we are now experiencing. We're seeing, I'm afraid to say, billions of people whose brains are not working anymore. Not as they should be. They are altered, and they don't have the willpower anymore. We are seeing the work ethic, and people are changing how they process things. And
well, we blame that on the limitations and, the structure that was created for our lives during COVID, all, the shutdowns and all the things that happened. We told ourselves that's why. That's what made people lose the desire to work regularly, hold down a job, all of that. But he's saying it's far more reaching than that, according to his analysis.
And I do want to give a shout out to Space Coast that I was able to see them in Orlando as well.
Yeah.
Took me out to lunch and was able to get to know the family and everything. So, yeah. So when you hear that I'm preaching somewhere,
thank y'all for taking care of my baby while he was there.
Yeah. They all want to know where the Queen was, though. Everybody want to know why the Queen didn't come. So
the Queen was still here.
I know, you just holding down the fort.
Holding down the fort, taking care of the home front.
Well, all right. So look, we talk a lot about the social credit system of China and this whole control system. Let me tell you what's coming. This is what's coming. This is what is coming to your nation, wherever you're watching this. Deleted, not broke. In China, thousands of young people are homeless, not for the lack of money, but because the social credit system erased them. Every move, word, and purchase is scored, blacklisted. The WeChat is their system that they pay through. Your WeChat pay dies, salary stops, and you can't buy food or even a train ticket. Digitally dead, they sleep on streets, shamed by apps, exposing their debts. No crime, just a low score. Watch this video here.
They didn't go broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally.
We've talked about this
Many are now
times.
sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals.
Wow.
They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
Wow. This is reality. That was not made up.
No.
That is the world that is happening in China. And that is the model that all these people that want to control your life, and take away your freedom, wants to follow.
That's what's headed our way. That's what they want to do to all of us.
And staying in the theme of tonight, that's the beast system. That's the beast system. Well, here's old Larry Ellison, buddy of Donald Trump. Now, supposedly, the primary American owner of TikTok, and one of the main people of, what was that called? Project Stargate.
Project Stargate, yeah.
And he's the dude that got up there and just blew everybody away when he's like, everybody's like, what? He goes, yeah, one of the things AI is going to do is we're going to create independent vaccines. We're going to just create them just for you.
Individual
What did I
vaccine.
say?
You said independent, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
One created just for you and your specific disease or whatever.
All right, listen to what his idea of a digital world is going to be. This is one of Trump's buddies. This is supposedly he helped negotiate the deal to get him to be a partial owner of TikTok.
Of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data. Tell us a bit about your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, obviously there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government. But also,
what in the world?
Tell us.
Some people believe this dude's the Antichrist. Good grief. But listen, y'all got to hear. He's going to set up this question, and you got to hear what Larry Ellison says.
Tell us a bit about because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform. So we provide context. When we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big step. That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database where it's easily consumable by the AI model, and then ask whatever question you like.
So you're really, through the use of this, you're revolutionizing the way government works, right? The services it provides, the way that.
So you have a former prime minister talking to one of the world's richest men who's in the forefront of AI technology, discussing openly in a Middle Eastern country at this conference. I think it's Saudi Arabia or it's Qatar, I can't remember. And it is about how the government should be utilizing AI to track the data of every one of its citizens. And he leads by saying the citizens will be on their best behavior.
Right.
The police will be on their best behavior. Everybody will be on their best behavior because everybody will be recorded.
But is he also saying, he's talking about this unification, is it so that anybody in any part of the world can basically call up information about any person in any part of the world?
And let's go further and say that at some point, it won't even need to be a person. It will be the machine, because the AI will just do what it wants to do. We've heard many of these leaders warning us that are some of the godfathers of AI are saying, when we get to artificial general intelligence, it's going to program itself. It will no
You mean
longer
super or general?
I mean, super intelligence, super.
Right.
From general, what I meant to say is when it gets to general intelligence, it will program itself to super intelligence.
Yeah.
It will not need to be programmed to super intelligence.
Exactly.
It will program itself to super intelligence. And when it gets to super intelligence, it will not need humans anymore.
And it should not be a question for anyone why we have to spend so much more money on your electrical bills, and these super rich people, corporations, the Elon Musk and all these people of the world are spending so much money and doing so much planning for data centers when the goal is to figure out what you're spending your money on.
Yep.
5, 7, maybe even 10 years ago, if that's what they want to do. Your medical condition, who treated you, what they did, and even run scenarios about how you might deal with a particular scenario. What decision might you make if you are met with this? That's what we're doing here.
We are literally
We're
again
storing all of this information and trying to. It's
and
Doctor Strange trying to
is,
figure out every possible scenario.
What is the movie that we always talk about? Minority Report.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Was that
Pre-crime.
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 So you're talking about pre-crime, pre-spending, pre-interest.
Yeah.
What you want to do, the AI is going to know everything about you before you do.
How many server farms are needed? Thank you for that super chat.
Scripture reference. Thank you.
How many server farms are needed? How many data centers are needed? How much electricity?
Well, Bezos said they're going to put it in space.
I mean, it's crazy. This is this all-encompassing stranglehold.
Yeah.
I can't afford to live on this planet any longer because everything that touches my life is astronomically expensive.
Yeah.
It's for this control mechanism.
Speaking of other planets.
The Supernatural AI Update. Brought to you by Uncle Jimmy.
Uncle Jimmy!
Love that guy.
It is the Supernatural AI Update.
Jazz fingers. I hope some of you guys are new and this is your first time for Supernatural AI Update and Uncle Jimmy. We love this time around here.
Yeah, and this is where we get most of our nominees for the Golden Chicken Award tonight because these are what makes your skin crawl, knowing that this is where our world is going. But if you're coming in late, we already told you we got hope. We ain't worried about it. We're worried about it, but we're not scared. Okay,
we're worried about it, but we're just trying to roll with it.
Exactly. Speaking of what is going on, what about the 3-Eye Atlas update? I mean, this thing is getting weirder and stranger.
The only thing that could make this segment any better is if BP is somehow here with us, and he also says happy birthday to me.
If BP's in here and you can give her happy birthday, we'd appreciate BP. BP's a friend.
But
we are going to show his video.
Exactly. I really just mentioned him because I hope you guys caught his latest video. At least I think it was his latest video moments before this show started. Oh, great.
Okay.
Show it.
Our interstellar comet 3-Eye Atlas is now leaking water like a fire hose.
Come on.
Running at full blast.
Yeah.
It's leaking water like a fire hose running at full blast. What? A rocky visitor from beyond our solar system is leaking water like a fire hose running at full blast. Once again, using NASA's Swift Observatory, scientists have for the first time detected the chemical fingerprint of water spilling from interstellar comet 3-Eye Atlas. Only the third known object from another star system ever observed passing through our cosmic neighborhood. Water is the universal yardstick of comet science, the baseline for measuring how sunlight drives a comet's activity and releases other gases. Detecting it is an interstellar visitor allows astronomers to compare 3-Eye Atlas directly with comets native to our solar system, offering a rare glimpse into the chemistry of distant planetary systems. When we detect water or even the faint ultraviolet echo from an interstellar comet, we're reading a note from another planetary system. It tells us the ingredients of life's chemistries are not unique to our own. At a distance where we didn't expect it, it says that the telescope when they observed it in July and August, when it was around 2.9 times farther from the sun, well beyond the region where water ice typically vaporizes. From the distance, Swift detected the faint ultraviolet glow of hydroxyl OH, the product of water molecules broken apart by sunlight.
Somebody said it was peeing.
Okay. Thank you, Big Picture family. I always count on you. That was great. So here's what I think about this.
That it's a lie? You think it's a lie?
I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie. Why did you take my words? I was building up for big dramatic.
Seriously?
Just kidding. But wait a minute, because this makes it a comment.
Exactly. And it's
most
not
people,
a comment.
Most people believe it's not a comment.
It's not a comment. Thank you, Avi Loeb. Thank you, so many other people.
Yeah.
It's not a comment.
So
and it's got friends.
It's got friends.
Friends.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Or children. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, let's hear what old Redacted's got to say about 3i Atlas.
It's NASA and the U.S. government hiding the first HD images of the 3i Atlas, this interstellar object, from all of us. This mysterious object just flew right by Mars on October 3rd and 4th, and NASA has some of the most advanced satellite images and satellites orbiting Mars, and reconnaissance instruments that are actually
tracking. This was very strange
on this object. Yeah. Astronomers were able to process data from the Mars Perseverance rover that gave low resolution images of 3i Atlas on October 3rd and 4th, but high resolution images from the orbiters have still not been released by NASA. Why? What are they hiding? Dr. Michael Sala, who writes over at exopolitics.org, has been tracking this story. He's been tracking 3i Atlas now for months and joins me now to talk about it. Doc, great to see you.
Let me just say, brother got some eyebrows. He looks intimidating. I know that was mean. I shouldn't
intimidating or intense.
He looks intense.
I like to watch him. Michael Sala, Exopolitics. I've seen him on many different interviews with different people over the years.
And I can feel him on the hair too, because he looks like he's doing the same style I'm doing.
He's hanging on with everything.
He's hanging. But let's hear. I'm sorry.
Stop.
So mean.
You're opening a door just to be mean.
That was mean. I'm sorry.
Not
I repent.
That's not
Everybody
nice.
forget everything you just heard. That was not.
Go.
Thanks. I'm glad to talk about this really perplexing issue.
It is perplexing because let's just put up here on the screen. This is video of the Mars cameras here. This is just a rendering here, but there's plenty of these high resolution satellites taking photos that are orbiting Mars, that are right there on Mars, not to mention the Mars Perseverance rover that's on the planet. Why have NASA not released these images?
Well, it's part of a pattern that NASA has been doing for decades now, going to all of its Mars orbiters and the International Space Station. What would happen typically is that many of these cameras were often oriented and would provide a live feed, and then anomalies would be seen on Mars or in space around the International Space Station. And so NASA decided that what it would do is that it would kind of like pretty much prevent or stop the live feeds and would go to a kind of delayed release of images where their photo image experts would process the images.
In other words, they want to see it first and decide what we get to see.
Dr. Sala, we are having a government shutdown. Now, this is a legitimate as any
That's the only reason.
Right?
That's what they said. That's the only reason that we're not seeing these images, because it's government shutdown. That's literally what they said, y'all. All right, speaking of BP Earthwatch, BP Earthwatch is going to tell us something that you're not going to hear anywhere else. He's going to tell us that it dropped something off at Mars. BP, what?
3i. And I've got it right here over Mars for a reason. It came in this way. It's going to dive through the ecliptic and then back out it through past Mars and towards Jupiter. Now, what was happening a few days ago, every instrument that could be turned towards Atlas was on it. And we're still waiting on information as far as images
I think you said yesterday
of what happened. Now, there's so much hype about Atlas, guys, and so much of it is pure nonsense that you almost hate to talk about it. These guys are getting big hits, good for them. But there's so much misinfo out there and speculation that really makes you almost not want to get involved in it. It's that bad. But I've got some information that I think is some of the best out there and definitely worth sharing. So let's go back a few days. We were all waiting for some information to come in. We had the Mars rover. We had the orbiter, which has the high-rise camera on it. And that high-rise camera is a bad boy. It can get very good pictures. It wasn't some of the one that we saw from one of the other, I think maybe European Space Agency or whatever it was. But people from all around the world, different space agencies, were watching the feeds coming from the different instruments. Now, as it got over Mars and everybody was looking up at it, the feed suddenly cut. It didn't just cut to NASA,
For
it cut
everybody.
to ESA, it cut to
everybody, every camera, China, all of them.
All the agencies, all the space agencies, all at, I guess, the exact same time. Or
exact same time.
What if they were staggered, whatever. Really?
Exactly.
Do you know what it made me think? It made me think either this country has a foothold in the other space agencies, or we're just all of them have puppet masters above them, and they're handing down the orders for this.
NASA, Jesus Freak says, never a straight answer.
That's what I was going to say.
Ding, 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 ding.
Never a straight
high-rise
answer.
controllers that cut to everyone anywhere watching it. And NASA is saying they're not putting up the new pictures that they got before the feed because of the government shutdown. Different instruments. An object peeled off of the main section of Atlas's group. Just like Avi Loeb was talking about, could there be orbiters being, because it's in a retrograde orbit, which would be perfect if it was going to drop off orbiters or watchers or whatever they want to call it along this planetary line. And it's going to, remember, close to Mars.
Drop off watchers.
Or if it was a mothership that had some little smaller ships.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Close to Venus. It's about to go behind the sun before long, and it's going to come back out, I think, 6 weeks after that. And we will know more then. But some of the other data that came in there, guys, is that the object.
All right, so bottom line is he's saying that he believed that BP believes that there's a group of something that's making up this thing. That's his opinion. And he's saying that he believes that when it went over, his data is showing that when it went over Mars, that something left the group. Whether it's something went down or to Mars or something's in rotation to Mars. But he's saying when it comes behind the sun, then it's going to come closest to us, I think, after that. And is something going to get dropped off here? Who knows? But remember, right in the midst of all of this, disclosure is rolling out.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about disclosure.
So am I making this up? Did I hear this? Have you heard this? That Oumuamua is also coming back?
I haven't heard that.
And so we have 3-Eye Atlas, and what is the name of that other one? I can never remember. That's out there as well.
They didn't really ever name that one. They named it, but nobody ever talked about it.
Okay.
But you know what else people are talking about? Artemis is the mission to the moon. We're going back to the moon, y'all. We're going back to the moon. We're going back to the moon, y'all. NASA's Artemis 2 mission is crucial as doubts build that America can beat China back to the moon. For the first time in half a century, America stands on the threshold of sending astronauts back to the moon, slated for launch no earlier than February of 26. Artemis 2 will not land on the lunar surface, but it will carry 4 astronauts on a flyby of Earth's only natural satellite. The 10-day mission will take the crew further from Earth than any human has traveled since the Apollo missions. It's a crucial test of NASA's Orion spacecraft and Space Launch System rocket, determining whether the United States can safely push beyond low Earth orbit once again. The stakes are immense: technical risks, billions in financial commitments, and an increasingly competitive international race for lunar leadership. Main one that's saying they're going to be there. China has been making great strides in a lunar effort. Why is everyone talking about 2030? Targeting an actual moon landing by 2030. Y'all, I'm telling you right now, you better pray. Just pray that you're alive for 2030. Because 2030 is going to be a year like no person in the history of humanity's ever lived. But my question to you, Sandy, are we going back to the moon? Or are we going to the moon for the first time? Or are we already living at the moon now and the moon is already a base and this is a distraction?
I saw that movie and clearly they were telling us in the movie that we didn't go.
Well, yeah. But I also saw the movie where the moon is hollow.
Yeah.
And then there's things inside of it.
People.
That aliens brought it there.
Something.
For those that are new to our channel,
don't forget, before we move on, China is on the dark side of the moon because that was another movie.
That was another movie.
That was a Transformers movie. So,
there's that. Come on. Hey, but, for full disclosure, we
Space Coast said, what do you mean? Back to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Space Coast, yes. Back to the moon. Yeah, back to the moon. We're going. Listen, look at me. Look how serious. Look how serious. I'm so serious. We're going back to the moon. We're going to replicate what we did with that tiny little thing that flew up there that looked like it was made in a high school project.
Oh, that little tin can thing?
That thing, if we've been to the Space Center, we've seen the replica of it. That is supposed to survive. And by the way, who ran the camera? Who ran the camera? It wasn't just the camera. I mean, this was in the day where you didn't have AI tracking, self-tracking. The camera did this and followed him. Has anybody ever asked the question, how did the camera on the moon catch them taking off from the moon and the camera does this? And has anybody ever just asked the question? We can't go back to the moon. We lost the technology to go back to the moon.
Oh, yeah.
But
they clearly told us that.
The president of the United States, Richard Nixon, picks up a landline before cell phones were even thought of, supposedly, and calls them in space and talks in real time on TV with no delay from a landline. Has anybody ever asked how that happened?
No. I think we were so enamored, with just the whole idea of it that I never see videos from back then in that time of anybody asking those questions. And honestly, I never hear anybody in our time asking those questions.
Speaking of a question, Jerry Daytona's got a great question.
Okay.
Hello, first time here. Is this a Christian program? Is this a Christian program? That's everything that we do here. Thank you for the great question, though. Yes, we look at everything from a biblical perspective.
100.
We are pastors. We founded a church that we pastor here in Birmingham. Been the pastors here for over 30 years, going up 31 years here in Birmingham, Alabama. So yes, so I was headed this way. And it's a great way to segue. Great way to segue is what I'm trying to say. Is I want everybody to know where we stand since we got so many new people. And by the way, this is the most we've ever had watching a show ever. There was several times for about over an hour. We had over 1,000 people watching.
Shut
live.
Your mouth.
So yeah, so a little under 1,000 now watching on all platforms. But man, it's the biggest show we've ever had. So thank you to everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do that.
Big Picture fam.
But where do we stand? What is it? Who do we think aliens are? What are aliens? We believe, we make it very clear here, we're not experts. We look at things from the biblical perspective that people are seeing things. We do believe people are having encounters with things, but they are not interplanetary. They are interdimensional. We believe it's fallen angels, demonic in nature. They are not our friends. And when this disclosure begins to roll out, and it's already beginning to roll out, it is a part of the beast system. It is a part of the distraction, and it will be the explanation of what happens to us when we're out of here. So we always want to show you all the things that are going on in the world. We want to let you know Jesus Christ is the only way and the answer. Amen. And that's why we do this program. So let that be known right now. Okay.
Very good.
Thank you very much. All right. So some people from Ford went over to China and visited China and came back and said, we're doomed. This is what they said. Western executives who visited China came back terrified.
Yeah.
Look, this is a car plant. This is a picture that they took of a car plant. And he says, it's the most humbling thing I've ever seen, said Ford's chief executive about his recent trip to China. After visiting a string of factories, Jim Farley was left astonished by the technical innovations being packed into Chinese cars, from self-driving software to facial recognition. Their cost and the quality of their vehicles are far superior to what I see in the West. We're in a global competition with China, and it's not just for EVs. If we lose this, we do not have a future at Ford. The car industry boss is not only Western executive to have returned shaken following a visit to the Far East. Andrew Forrest, the Australian billionaire behind mining giant Fortescue, which is investing massively in green energy, says his trips to China convinced him to abandon his company's attempt to manufacture electric vehicles, powertrains in-house. I can tell you there are factories in China, listen to this now, where you'll basically be alongside a big conveyor belt, a big conveyor, and the machines come out on the floor and begin to assemble the parts. And you're walking alongside the conveyor, and after about 800 to 900 meters, a truck drives out. There are no people. Everything is robotic. Other executives describe vast, dark factories where robots do much of their work alone, and there is no need to even light it for humans. We visited a dark factory producing some astronomical number of mobile phones. We covered that here.
Yeah.
And it's an energy.
Where they do it in the dark with no humans.
Completely in the dark. The process was so heavily automated that there were no workers on the manufacturing side, just a small number who were there to ensure the plant was working.
Oh, my goodness.
This is the world that is already existing.
Yes.
It's not coming. It's already here.
And just the other day, you were not sharing this specific thing, but you were trying to share the realization of automation and how, we hate to say this, but so many more people will lose their jobs.
Absolutely.
And that, it's inevitable, but probably homelessness is going to rise even higher.
Yep.
And this person was completely unaware. You were like, what did you said to me? They were looking at you like, what are you talking about?
Completely unaware.
Just
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, completely. Now, speaking of the world that we live in, this is concerning and also heartbreaking. A Chinese father videos his daughter when he tells her to say goodbye to her broken AI learning robot. Watch this video. You're gonna have to read because it's in Chinese. While I can still talk, let me teach you one last English word, shall I?
Oh, God.
Memory means remembrance. I'll always remember the happy times with you. She's like, oh, she's just bawling her eyes out. But I will miss you so much. She's crying, talking to it. I will miss you very much too, is what the AI said. Remember, no matter where I am, I'll always be cheering for you. Keep being that curious little learning genius, making Dad and Aunt proud, will you? I'm just afraid you'll never turn on again, the child says. This is the world that our kids are growing up in.
Yeah.
Dear, let me give you one last hug. Even if I can't turn on, remember that among the countless stars in the universe, there's surely one that's me, watching over you, protecting you. Grow up happily and live with Dad and Grandma. Dad said you won't turn on again. So sad. While I can still talk, let me teach you one last word. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad that our children.
It's a sad reality.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Because that is not just synonymous. That is not just the story of that one child.
No.
I mean,
kids are addicted to these screens. They come out of the womb ready for it.
Yeah, but quite frankly, you've had adults that have had major meltdowns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Over.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to go into very much detail here, but not having access to their digital friends either.
Well, okay, I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So watch this. You want to know who else is doomed? Hollywood. Hollywood is doomed.
For sure.
Sora 2, which the public can't even use yet.
Mm-mm.
I can't use it. I use Sora to make graphics and all that. Sora 2's video is insane. The things that they're sharing now. Remember last week we showed Abraham Lincoln, all these, Muhammad Ali. We showed MLK. And they're going back and taking historical figures and just putting them in all kinds of situations. And it looks so real. This is the first ever short film fully created by using Sora 2. It's hard to imagine where this will be in 2 years, is what they say. Watch this.
All over the interior.
Let me refresh it.
This is northbound on the Dalton. I need help. Something's out here. Come on. Anybody hear me?
None of this is real.
All right, let's split up. We can't stay here. If our families made it out, they'll need us. We already lost Tony, so keep your radios on. Something is out there.
Emergency broadcast. The Weather Service has advised us to stay indoors. The snow is blinding and unsafe for travel. Please stay alert and make sure you have enough water.
It's a movie called Frostbite.
Hello?
We don't see any red semi. Let's head back.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, God.
That's all over the interior?
Mm-hmm. I hope to God no one's dealing with this shitstorm.
Sorry. Dude, that is insane. That was a full-blown movie made by prompts. Not a single human was in it or developed it other than the person that typed the prompt.
Yeah.
That's a full movie. And that's not even available to the public yet.
We've said this before, but when they were out there picketing several months ago, you'd think they had any clue that it was going to be this fast and this bad. I don't.
Look at this diner scene. I mean, this continues this movie. This movie is still going on. I just cut the sound on it, but I mean, you can't there's certain
look
things.
at them zooming in to the detail on his face. I mean,
look at this.
Crazy.
I mean, it's just crazy, y'all. I'm telling you, you better know your heart is right with God.
For sure.
Well, I got one more thing to tell you, and we're gonna end on a cute, warm, fuzzy note.
Thank God.
I thought I'm gonna bring it back and make you happy tonight on your birthday.
Thank
I didn't want to close it bad on your
Thanks
birthday.
for that. Thanks.
So we hadn't had a lot of bad stuff tonight. I tried to go easy on you. You ain't got a whole lot of nominate. Well, yes, you do. Okay.
We're going to whittle it down.
All right. So I want to tell everybody that if you're new to our channel, you go over to LarryRagland.com. And when you go there, everything you need to know about our ministry is there. You can connect with us. You can send us a message. You can hit the contact button. You can donate if you'd like to. If you're a pastor, you'd like to invite me to come and speak at your church, all of that's there. By the way, I don't really talk this much about it, but you can read blogs. I have blogs that are out there that I think will really help you. You can listen to audio podcasts. You can find us on all the podcasts wherever you listen to your podcast. We're there. We have 3 different podcasts there. But what I want you to do is click on that yellow banner and click on Get Your Free Gift. And when you do that, you're going to join our email list called the Noah Generation. Based on what Jesus said, as in the days of Noah, this is what's going to happen in the end times. It's also based on a book that I've got coming out in around Easter from Destiny Image Publishing called The Final Flood. But we're building this list so we can send special things to this list that we don't talk about on here. So just join. It's totally free, no credit card required, no obligation, name and email, and you'll be able to download a PDF version of this book that I wrote called The Burning Generation. It's my gift to you, and I would like you to go there. It's also linked in the description down below for quick access, LarryRagland.com. YouTube.com/free. So I want to show you this right here. And this will be the last thing we show. And y'all don't want to miss this. This is called the best pizza delivery screw up ever. So when I saw that, I thought, okay. And several sites shared this. And I was like, okay, I guess I need to watch this. This is just give you a little bit of idea of how we should carry ourselves in this world. And I was really proud of this guy.
Neil, okay. Neil, I'm sorry. I'm getting old. I saw 67. It's not 67 or 57. You were number 67. So 57, 67. I screwed up. I'm sorry. I'm on my way back to get it right now. I will bring it back.
I think we can make it work. And hey, and don't for 1 second feel bad.
Well,
we love you and Jesus loves you. And we hope you have a great night.
Sweet.
Look at her.
Don't feel bad for 1 second. We're having a great night.
Thank you.
Now watch this. This is amazing.
You're welcome. You're very much loved. You know that. Do you know Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you living for Jesus?
I'm just struggling.
Oh,
because things have been pretty difficult lately.
Hey, girls, come here. We're going to pray for this really nice lady. What's your name?
My name's Susanna.
Oh, Susanna.
Yeah.
I'm Neil.
Come on,
Hey, girls.
boy.
Do you love this lady right here?
Yes.
Let's pray for her. Here, put it. Can I put my hand on your
Yes,
shoulder?
amen,
And Evelyn, if you want to come over.
Yeah.
And your name one more time?
Susanna.
Susanna, Jesus, we thank you for Susanna. And Lord, I thank you that we cross paths tonight. In fact, Lord, she's more important than any of these orders tonight because you matter to her and she matters to us. Lord, I just pray you would bless her. I pray that you would open the windows of heaven over her and bring any healing she needs to her body in the name of Jesus, any financial need to her, Lord, and God, that she would encounter you and live for you and follow you in everything she has. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Hey, have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Bless you.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Bye.
Thanks, girl.
Take care.
Now I'm going to tell you something. I wanted to end by that by telling you that in the world that seems like it is going to hell on a bobsled.
Yeah. We've left the handbasket.
We've left the handbasket.
We are fully on the bobsled.
We're on a bobsled, man. And prophecy is falling left and right. Here's how you deal with all the bad stuff.
And
just
have a great lesson example for your kids at the same time.
Exactly. Just show somebody love and show somebody Jesus and turn the situation around and be sensitive to somebody that they may be going through a really bad place and you have no idea. Just give them Jesus.
So good.
Now, look, if you're not following us and subscribing to us, look where we're at right here. 24,559 subscribers live right now. Tonight, before midnight, we're going over 25,000.
Let's do it. We can do it. We can do it.
If you got any kind of value out of this tonight at all, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And let's build the big picture family. We've had a great time tonight with you. We love you.
Yes.
Thank God for being with us. Thank you for praying for my voice. And one more time. Oh, we hadn't done that. We hadn't done that. All right, give us the nominees. Give us the nominees real quick.
All right, guys, if you are ready, please.
Sorry, I totally forgot about the Dakota chicken.
All right, real quick. 4 nominees. Number 1, Peter Thiel or Thiel. I don't know. Is it Thiel? Peter Thiel, Antichrist lectures. Number 2, digitally dead in China because of your social credit score. Number 3, China scares Ford. And number 4, little Chinese girl gonna lose her AI friend.
I mean, I feel sad for her, but I think she needs to win. All right, here we go. We're gonna have a abbreviated dance tonight. We're gonna dance tonight. Here we go. Birthday dance.
Number 1, Peter Thiel.
Dance with me.
I gotta dance. Okay, dip. No, just kidding. We're not gonna dip. No dip.
The birthday dance.
No spins and no dips. All right, quickly while you're voting, one more time. Number 1, Peter Thiel, Antichrist lectures. Number 2, digitally dead in China. I gotta write these down.
Number 3.
You write these down while I write this down.
Number 3, tell them number 3. China scares
what I'm telling you
Ford. Number 4, Chinese girl loses her friend, her digital friend. And what do we have a winner?
I think we have a resounding winner. Scroll up really quick for me and make sure that I'm in sync with everyone here. Yep. We have a clear winner tonight.
And who is the winner?
Digitally dead in China because of your social credit score. Our number 2 nominee tonight, takes home the Golden Chicken Award.
Yay! Golden Chicken Award.
Yepers. Again, thank you all for being here tonight. Please.
And happy birthday one more time.
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Yep.
And please pray for this channel.
Yep.
We're gonna get to 25,000.
But we're not even worried about that. It's going to be 1 million channels, million subscribers, million channels, million subscribers. It's because why? Because that's more people, and we're building an army to stand strong together. And we want to remind you that I'm telling you, you're not alone.
You are not.
That's why you found the Big Picture family. We're going to make it through this together.
We're going to do this together.
We're going to get through it together, and we're going to always tell you
that
everybody needs a little Jesus.
A little Jesus.
Come on.
If you just got a little Jesus, you're going to be able to make it.
You actually need a lot of Jesus, by the way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good night. And we always want to remind you that we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake. See you next time.
Help us build the Big Picture family. We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. Go to LarryRagland.com to give a one-time gift or become a monthly partner. Any amount blesses the entire Big Picture family. While you're there, pick up our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect on social media, and get on the Big Picture mailing list at LarryRagland.com. Join us and be a part of the Big Picture family, where we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake. You're watching The Big Picture.